under pressure in third, having blundered at the second last. A long gap back to Manavarran, but racing down to the final fence. It is Ultra Flutter, the leader, being chased in second place by Miracle Man, and then comes the Carrigrua a long way back to Manavarran at the last. Ultra Flutter, Miracle Man closing the gap on the far side. They're clear from the Carrigrua, and on the run in, Ultra Flutter with Miracle Man coming there on the far side to throw down a strong challenge. Racing inside the last 150 yards now, and it's Ultra Flutter on the near side from Miracle Man. They're clear of the Carrigrua and racing up to the line. Ultra Flutter from Miracle Man. Ultra Flutter holding Miracle Man as they go to the line. Ultra Flutter wins it by about half a length. Miracle Man is second. Carrigrua 7 lengths or so back in third, and they're a long way clear of Manavarran. And behind Manavarran, Garabah tailed off along with Radiant River. So there's our winner, number 3. Ultra Flutter, owned by Donald Higgins, trained by Michael Hurligan, and ridden by Tony McCoy.
And Ultra Flutter, surely one of the best novices in Ireland outside of Doran's Pride. And Denoli returned the 5-4 favourite. Miracle Man was runner-up at 5-1, with a third, the Carrigrua, 5-2. And the next race in the 205, Time for a Run, 4-1, beat Whale of a Night, the 6-4 favourite, with King of the Gales third, 9-2.
The picture puzzle, your chance to get lucky here. A horse down to run somewhere today, a Celestial Cartoon. 0891's the number to ring, 0891 991144. That's 0891 991144.
And the 135 at Leopardstown, Royce and LeBeau, the third consecutive winning favourite there. Tips on, 11-10 on Royce and LeBeau, with Mullover second at 7-2, and Rock and Roll Kid at 5-1. 3 successive favourites go in at Leopardstown.
So the showdown out there just south of Dublin, the Ladbroke at Leopardstown, the most competitive handicap hurdle run in Ireland all season, just about the most competitive handicap hurdle run anywhere in the world, actually, I think. Not one that's been much good for British runners recently, as you know. The last one was Barnbrook again back in '87. There are 8 British trained runners today amongst the 23 runners. Let's take them. Not complaining about it with Tommy Tracy. Express gift with Nick Smith on board for Mary Reevely's. Guest performance, Desi Hughes, ridden by his son Richard Hughes. Penny a Day, the second Mary Reevely runner, ridden by Peter Niven. Hill Society, Richard Dunwoody. Executive design with Gary Carhill. That's also a Reevely horse. Then we go into Carayan, the favourite, with Conor O'Dwyer. Magical Lady with Tom Rudd. King of Kerry with Charlie Swan, who said he didn't fancy it very much in the morning papers. We'll see about that. Shane's Hero with Shane Broderick. Number 11, Family Way with Francis Woods. Number 12, Metastasio with Harry Rogers. Moving on down to Real Silver with Graham Bradley on board. Glint of Eagles with David Casey. Lady Apple with Kevin O'Brien. Clifton Fog for Jimmy Bolger, ridden by Tony McCoy. Then Centaur Express with Tim Ely. That comes from Andy Streeter's yard. Katak, the other English trained runner, ridden by Finbar Leahy. Master Tribe from Jenny Pitman's yard with Norman Williamson. Then Palace Gate King with Trevor Horgan, the last British trained runner. Then Fontaine Lodge, who's now ridden by Anthony Powell. It's a jockey change. Number 22, Black Queen, Tony O'Brien. And finally, the 23rd runner, 23, Rescue Time, ridden by Garrett Cotter. So, John, pleasure done, but it will be a very competitive race. And saying this morning, it's going to be very tight. They've got to jump. There won't be any room for manoeuvre. Yeah, more than anything, you've got to have something that's handy. It's no good going to Leopardstown. We were just discussing, you know, the look of the track from the TV cameras. You don't realise that about 3.5, 4 furlongs from home, you run downhill, you come around quite a sharp bend. You've got to be travelling well there, be able to hold a position. The second you think you're going to be looking for a little bit of room and you haven't got enough petrol to go there, you just get into all sorts of trouble. You know, there are 3 or 4 classy sort of horses here that are improving. You know, the favourite Karawani, for instance, and, you know, a couple of decent horses down the bottom. They go a blistering gallop. You can barely afford to miss a hurdle. You want something, you don't want a good jumper, you know, that actually jumps them. You've got a really good hurdle, got to be fast over them. And, you know, the ground, from looking at those chases earlier, it's not too bad. They go a good clip. And Jim, these British trained runners, people who've been backing them over the years, Penny a Day in particular, being in great form.
Do you think it'll suit him? The ground's being better ought to suit him, don't you think?
Well, we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago about, Brough, you say a horse wants soft ground on the flat, which Penny a Day did. But some viewers at home might not realise that, you know, soft ground on the flat is usually good jumping ground, and you don't probably want it as really soft for, in theory, a soft ground flat horse. So John could well be right. If Penny a Day, if he puts in a good round of jumping, and there is a big if, he's a horse of talent, and he's a horse of on the upgrade. He could run well.
I think he's a horse who'll jump better on better ground. You know, a couple of times we've seen
Why do you say that, though? Because, I mean, he has looked clumsy. I
know, but I think he gets lost in it. The only reason he's been winning is because he's incredibly genuine and tough. You know, he might be lazy, but he's, you know, you can get, you know, what there is out of him. And I just think that he'll jump better once the ground's that little bit better. You know, it's not holding him back and he knows where his feet are going.
It always amuses me. Mary Reebley, of course, is loath to send them sort of down past Nottingham. She's
never had a runner in Ireland. No, she got 3.
Well, she has actually. She has 1 in the Irish National. She sent 3, and of course she doesn't like them going in the horse box at more than 50 miles an hour. She rings the husband and just to check that he's not going over 50. I mean, whether
what does she say, Jim? Go on, give us a thing. Go on. Yes, you're Mary Reebley. Go on.
Which she will.
Go on, put your blonde wig on.
What she will say, I don't think it's blonde actually. What she will say when they go in a plane, what she said to the pilot, you mustn't go above a certain miles an hour.
You rang him up.
50 miles an hour.
Well, exactly.
So a Freddie Laker plane.
Let's have a Mary Reebley style betting show.
And Kerouani, the gamble of the race from 10 to 1 is now 5 to 1 favourite. The sponsors were going 6 to 1 this morning, and that was taken. Clifton Fogg, a 7 to 1 chance, along with Penny a Day, back down from 9 to 1 into 7 to 1. 8 to 1 against Family Way, runner-up last year. King of Kerry, 10 to 1, can't win according to jockey Charlie Swan. Guest Performance, a 12 to 1 chance, along with well-backed Black Queen. Executive Design at 14 to 1. Good each-way support for Lady Arpel this morning, also 14 to 1. And it's 16 to 1 Express Gift, Hill Society and Master Tribe, 20 to 1 bar.
And there is the favourite in the JP McManus colours, Kerouani, trained by Christy Roach. It's an incredible way to be training a favourite for the Ladbroke hurdle, as well as being a leading flat race jockey for one of the biggest stables of all in Ireland, the Aidan O'Brien team.
Yeah, pretty good flat horse. This is to look at. I mean, he's not at all physically imposing, Brough. I mean, he's leggy and sort of lightly made, but like John, I hadn't seen that piece of film of him winning earlier in the season until this morning, and I was pretty impressed with that, John, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, he was travelling so well at the end of the race. And they've had plenty of problems with him. You know, he has, you know, quite bad joints, but they said they've got him better now that he's been for a long time.
It's noticeable that listening to JP McManus this morning, no question of him being worried about being off for a long time. They've readied him for this, and they're very confident he's certainly fit now.
Yeah, he's been blistering up the gallops, apparently.
But you've both been to Aidan O'Brien's, and apparently it is exceptionally stiff there. I mean, you couldn't be fit, you know, being trained by him, working up those hills.
You'd be a very worried man if you'd stayed in the ring and been laying him, wouldn't you? You know, the way that he won last time out.
Yeah, but, I mean...
A lot of people have been saying, oh, he's a skinny price, 5 to 1. If he comes to the last travelling as well as he did at the last time he ran.
I mean, Ted Walsh will probably tell you also what price he is, doesn't he? But Mac's a man that picks up on trends, and he just sort of
Not with his clothes, though.
He did notice that Ladbrokes, who, of course, are the first to lay the horse. I mean, it was 4 to 1 when there were 30 in the races. Now it's 6 to 1 when there were 23. You know, it's worth noting.
Yeah. Yeah, so, no, he's a horse that I like.
Just why is Mike Dillon, who knows what goes on over in Ireland, why has he pushed that out? He wanted to get it this morning, he wanted to lay it. They have laid it, but why?
Yeah, but Matt, you do know that the sponsors, when they sponsor a race, these bookmakers, they like to be top price on their own day, so, you know, there's that element in it as well. We give you the best chance.
So the fact they get a lot of money for the other horses as well.
And JP going for a treble today. He's already had 2 winners. Time for a run on Raw. Where you're going for a treble today now. JP McManus.
Yeah, of course, he's got Family Way running for him as well. Hasn't just Scott, the one, got the other horse that was second in this race last year.
John, from a riding point of view, I remember you describing the Triumph Hurdle to me, that you don't actually, sometimes when you're riding it, so many runners and you don't actually see the first couple of hurdles. I mean, is it the same in a race like this?
Well, it'll be, I won't say that you won't see them, but you certainly won't get much room. And there's a couple of these horses who are fairly green when it comes to having runs over hurdles. The bottom one, Rescue Time, although he's been running in decent races, it's certainly, this will be something completely new to him.
That is, fact is, Aidan O'Brien's representative, King of Kerry, who I know Charlie Swan feels might not be, he's had just 5 runs over hurdles, might not be experienced enough. A bit of a gawky individual, but very willing and battled on well last time. the point here, and I've raced at Leopardstown, obviously I haven't ridden around there, the man on my left has, but you've got to travel, John, haven't you? If you're off the Brighton, you don't get in a race here, do you?
Well, you know, it's not it's the fact that you don't get through. The race narrows up, and there's sort of bottleneck about 3 furlongs from home. And whereas on some courses, 3 furlongs from home at Haydock or Newbury, the field would be fanned out in a straight line in front of you, and you can find yourself some room. There you can't. You're more or less committed to sitting where you are.
Having a chat, Charlie Swan, in the green and white colours to Shane Broderick on Shane's hero, who has one piece of form last year when he was second at Leopardstown that would give him a chance, and this just run one run this season and didn't really show very much. That was on December the 14th. Big, long individual. Looks as though he might make a chaser in due course.
And solid support for Mary Reevely's Penny a Day, now a 7-to-1 chance from 9-to-1. It did open 10-to-1 a month ago when the betting began. So although Britain has had a desperate record in the race, first run as a handicap hurdle in 1976, we've had 62 challenges and won it only twice. We've 7 runners today. Money again for the British runner. This time it's Penny a Day in at 7-to-1.
Conor O'Dwyer in J.P. McManus's colours in the centre of that trio. Number 8 to the right of Picture As You Look is Magical Lady, who was a good filly last year and very well in the Triumph Hurdle.
It's been a bit disappointing since then. Only had a few runs, but I mean, on that pick of that form, she'd have some sort of chance, wouldn't she?
Well, actually, what happened this season, John, was that the tapes went up. She whipped round, the rider was unseated. He got back on, but he was so far behind at halfway, he realised the error of his ways and pulled her up. But, yeah, you're quite right. I think, to be fair, the softer ground would have suited her better. And the prediction yesterday was it would get a lot softer at Leopardstown today, but that hasn't happened. 14 is Glint of Eagles, the mount of David Casey, who was the conditional find of last season in Ireland and is doing very well again this time. This is trained by Willie Mullins. He's a horse who usually wears a tongue strap and he's been running over fences. He's got plenty of form over hurdles, but myself, unless you've got a lot in hand, I would have thought that a horse like that, where the discipline is a little bit slower through the air, that even though he's been well schooled, he just might find this to come and win this after 2 runs over fences, asking a bit much.
And the 2:30 at Lingfield, Arcatura 5-to-1. Bond Secret, the 4-to-1 joint favourite, was second, with Zaccharoon third, Double Carpet 33-to-1. The totes £6.60 and £1.90, £1.40 a place for Bond Secret. Zaccharoon paid £9.70, dual forecast £13.50, and the computer straight forecast £24.59.
Clifton Fogg, who wears blinkers for the first time today. I thought he looked a bit leery and ran in snatches last time. It was interesting that neither Ted Walsh or Conor O'Dwyer on the morning line gave him any chance. Being really revved up by his rider as they come into line. Let's take commentary.
Ready to go with the Ladbroke handicap hurl. Eddie Arpel over on the right there, just standing sideways onto the tape. And they're away, off and running, and in the early stages, guest performances up there on the pace with Lady Arpel on the far side, also Centaur Express, and they're followed by Clifton Fogg, and then comes Not Complaining But, Hill Society towards the outside with Palace Gate King, and they're being followed by Magical Lady as they come up now towards the first of the 8 flights. And it's Centaur Express on the inside as Lady Arpel. They jump it together, followed in 3rd place by Not Complaining But. On the inside is guest performance between horses Clifton Fogg. Then comes Magical Lady and Hill Society and Kailawani and Palace Gate King, and then Master Tribe going towards the second, and Lady Arpel on the inside of Centaur Express. They're 5 to 6 lengths in front of guest performance Clifton Fogg, Not Complaining But, Magical Lady on their outside, and they're followed by Hill Society, Kailawani, Palace Gate King, Master Tribe, Glint of Eagles and Fontaine Lodge and Shane's Hero, and then Penny a Day and Kai Tak, and behind these Metastasio with Black Queen, and then Family Way. They're followed by Executive Design with Express Gift and King of Kerry back in the field with Rescue Time, and Ray Sylvia is last of all. Going up now towards flight number 3, and Lady Arpel on the inside of Centaur Express. Clifton Fogg is in 3rd place in the blinkers, being ridden along with guest performance on the inside. Magical Lady the outer, and just behind these is the top weight Not Complaining But as they start to turn down the back straight, bringing them towards flight number 4. Lady Arpel the leader. from Centaur Express in second. They're 3 lengths clear of Magical Lady. Guest Performance is fourth, and then comes Clifton Fog, and then comes Master Tribe. Behind Master Tribe is Not Complaining But, and then Shane's Hero and Kairouani as they race towards the fourth. Lady Arpel, narrowly from Centaur Express, 3 lengths away Magical Lady, then Guest Performance and Clifton Fog, and they're followed by Hill Society. Master Tribe is next on the inside of Shane's Hero, then Not Complaining But, and they're followed by Kairouani. Over the first down the far side, Lady Arpel is the leader. From in second place, Centaur Express, then comes Magical Lady, Guest Performance, Shane's Hero, Hill Society, then comes Kairouani, and behind Kairouani making a bit of ground is Kaitak, and then comes Master Tribe. Clifton Fog being driven along, then Glint of Eagles, Metastasio dropping back a few places as they come towards the next 4 from home now. Magical Lady hits the front there, from Shane's Hero gone second, Hill Society goes third, then Kairouani, Lady Arpel weakening, then comes Kaitak and Master Tribe, and then comes making ground on the outside of these is Glint of Eagles, and also improving is Penny a Day as they come towards the third last. It's the Magical Lady who leads. Magical Lady with gone up on the outside Kairouani. They're followed in third place by Hill Society. Then on the inside in fourth place Shane's Hero. Just behind these is Master Tribe with Kaitak, and then Penny a Day and Gets Performance, and Glint of Eagles has come down on the flat there as they race now towards the second last flight. Magical Lady from Kairouani, Master Tribe going well, the white and red colours. Just behind these Shane's Hero with Hill Society as they come to the second last. Magical Lady, Kairouani going easily on the outside, Master Tribe just behind them as they run down out of the second last. Magical Lady from Kairouani and Master Tribe, and they're being followed by Shane's Hero and Family Way getting into it too as they run the turn into the straight. One her left to jump in the Ladbroke, and Kairouani and Conor O'Dwyer in the lead from Master Tribe, poised in second. Then comes Magical Lady, Family Way, Black Queen from a long way back, and they're followed by and staying on Penny a Day, and after these is Executive Design as they race to the last. Master Tribe, Black Queen the near side, Kairouani the rail, just behind them Family Way, and then Penny a Day. Master Tribe leads the last from Black Queen, and they're chased by Family Way. Kairouani weakening as they race up towards the line. It's Master Tribe on the far side. Master Tribe from Black Queen as they race up towards the line. Master Tribe, Black Queen fighting all the way. Master Tribe's holding her. Master Tribe wins the Ladbroke. Second Black Queen. 3 is Penny a Day. 4 is Family Way. Metastasio stays on well. 5 then Kairouani. Guest Performance, Executive Design and Magical Lady, and then Hill Society, followed in by Kaitak and King of Kerry and Palisade King, and then came Fontaine Lodge and Rescue Time. They're followed in by Express Gift, Clifton Fog, Not Complaining But, then Shane's Hero and Centaur Express, Lady Arpel, and finally Ray Sylvia.
Well, Master Tribe takes it for England. First time that we've won this race for 10 years since Barnbrook again, and it was Michael Dillon, who's the main PR man for Ladbrokes, who talked Jenny Pitman into running this horse. And as well ridden as it was by Norman Williamson, you've got to feel a little pang of commiseration for Warren Marston, who normally rides this horse. Really nasty fall there, just on the bend. We'll let you know how the jockey is from there, from Glint of Eagles. That was David Casey. But as they turn for home at this point, Kairouani, who actually had been being scrubbed along there for a little bit of the time, just begins to come back on the bridle. You're just looking behind and see how well that Master Tribe is travelling, and he's going so well at one point that Norman Williamson actually takes a pull of him, tucks him back in behind, and then Black Queen comes along and throws down her, challenging for a second. I just thought that this horse wasn't going to come and pick up again. He just doesn't want to hit the front too soon here, Jim.
Absolutely not, and you'd still say how far, but then you suddenly see Norman get anxious. He really grabs him, shortens the reins, flies the last, pings it, really lands running, and takes a couple of lengths off Black Queen, who launches a stern rally all the way up. Norman Williamson, one of the strongest finishers in the game, using his whip, his body, his legs, absolutely everything. You can see in the last 100 yards, he's beginning to tie up the horses, coming back a little bit under him. Norman is really determined. He makes sure that his mount answers every call, and he does very, very gamely. And Jenny Pitman, who was robbed in the dying strides in this race in the 80s, gains compensation and finally brings more success to Britain.
They're down here at the stalls for our 250 race. It's the Pertemps handicap, mile and half a furlong, and there are 13 runners.
which is the maximum for this distance. From stall 6 is Paternoster at 8-1 chance Steve Drown. From 7, Sabo 16-1 D McEwen. Wide in 12 is a probable front runner, Super High Blinkered 5-1 Francis Norton. From stall 10, Duke Valentino 8-1 David Griffiths claims 5. From 2, Nishant 14-1 Richard Painter claims 5. From 5, Punker 14-1 chance Ross Studholm, £2 overweight, claiming £7 allowance. Star Talent is 7-1. Angela Gallimore rides from stall 9. She claims a £7 allowance. From 4, Anonym Blinkered 5-1 John Bramhill claims 7. From 3 is 3 Weeks, the 92 favourite at the moment, Jimmy Quinn's Matt. From 13, Live Prospect 10-1 Tyrone Williams. Out of 8, Amber Valley 50-1 Lindsay Charnock. Drawn 1, Sugarhawk the inside 9-1 Neil Varley claims 3. Drawn 11, Bowman 9-1 Mark Baird. He too claims a £3 allowance. So this Potemps handicap.
Loading up quickly, and Paternoster was due to run here earlier in the week, and the blacksmith pricked his foot. Really good-looking colt, got top weight of 10 stone to carry. Only run a couple of times in the last 18 months, formerly with Julie Cecil, now with John Harris.
And he's aimed at the champion hurdle. They're trying him out on the all-weather first, but that's the target if all goes to plan. And as John said on the morning line, he is different class to these if he still retains that old ability. 3, Super High. If you follow horses for courses, you'll be interested in him. Although it is worth pointing out that while we say that sort of thing, he is drawn 12. And if you've been watching with us throughout the afternoon, low numbers of horses racing close to the rails have looked to enjoy a little bit of an advantage today. This easily the most competitive event of the afternoon. Sabo goes in, but it's a mere 13, a mere nothing to our commentator GG.
Thanks for your confidence, Jim. Plenty of pace on here. Super High can go from the front, and also from the front, Duke Valentino goes very fast. Amber Valley with plenty of pace, and Sabo through on the inside. Sugarhawk makes good use of a 1 draw. Wide on the course is Live Project, and Paternoster is up with the pace. Outpaced is Bowman as they spin round the first turn. It really is furious stuff here on the all-weather. And Master Tribe started at 18-1. How about that? So they start the turn towards the back straight, and it's Sugarhawk that leads. Sugarhawk from Paternoster on the outside. Punker shares third, with on the inner 3 Weeks those yellow and black colours. Anonym with the red sleeves. Pink sleeves is Sabo. Behind these on the inside, we've got the yellow cap of Nashar, and then Duke Valentino, followed out wide by Live Project being pushed along. Super High started from a wide stall, making ground. Star Talent comes with a late rush. That's in purple sleeves, and is pulling double for Angela Gallimore in behind. And the horses who passed the halfway stage in the Potemps handicap, and it's Punker with the blue and white check sleeves, Paternoster the black and white check sleeves. Anonym tries to get a run between the two. Then comes 3 Weeks on the outside. Sabo with the pink sleeves is going well, pushed along his Live Prospect. They've got about just over 3 furlongs to go, and it's Punker that goes into the lead. Punker just the leader to Paternoster in second. Wide is Sabo settling in third. Then Anonym runs a rail 4, Duke Valentino 5, Live Prospect 6, 3 Weeks in 7. Star Talent can't find a lot as they come to the top of the home run. Inside the final quarter mile, Punker with the advantage. But look at this Anonym next to the rails. Can he get through? Will he get a run? Wide on the course is Sabo. Down the straight they come. And he's found room. That John Bramhill on Anonym. He's come to steal the race. He's gone on as they come past the furlong pole by a length to Sabo wide of Punker. They're dueling for places. Paternoster behind these as they race up towards the line. It's going to go to Anonym this. Up towards the line. Anonym wins it very easily to Sabo in second. Punker third. Star Talent 4. Then 3 Weeks and Paternoster and Duke Valentino behind these. The slow to go. Super High ran on well in the home straight. The last 2 to finish were Sugarhawk, and last of all was Live Project, who was being pushed along some way out. A great run this by John Bramhill on the Weatherby Racing Bureau Limited's Anonym. This 5-year-old who's won his 5th race here, Dandy Nichols trains. And, well, he got a dream run through on the inside. Young John Bramhill has been catching the eye of the all-weather followers here. He's been riding horses with a lot of confidence for the last fortnight or so, and he put this horse, Anonym, through on the inside. The horse answered his every question and came home well. That's Anonym, our winner here. Second horse was number 2, Sabo. Third, number 6, Punker.
Well, really confident ride there from John Bramhill. Claims £7, and very easy to sit in the stands and say afterwards, well, oh, well, anyone would have won on it. He's a real monkey, this horse, and needs to be kidded. And I think when he steps up in distance, you'll find that he'll be even better. And everything just went right for him, because as they turned off the bend into the straight, and Ross Studholm just moved Punker across, just let him run off the bend, and Sabo on his outside went with him, and the space opened up and plenty of room for Anonym just run through. His second win on this surface, and won on it at Southall just a little while ago. Got the blinkers on this afternoon, and from there on home, never any danger that he was going to win. And then the only problem after that was whether he was going to pull him up in time.
Anonym returned 11-2. Sabo was second at 20-1, and third Punkar 16-1. Number 9, 3 Weeks, was the 9-2 favourite, but Anonym 11-2 completes a double for John Bramhill, who won the first, of course, on Suetonian, the 3-1 favourite.
And Dandy Nichols starting the year off in good form. A really good season on the turf and all weather last year. John Bramhill smiling, does a really light weight and got a tremendous future.
£465.20. The start price is first number 8, Anonym at 11-2. Second, number 2.
And the result of the Leopards at Leopardstown of the Ladbroke, and of course this is a computerised starting price. They'd never return, or very rarely return, an 18-1 chance. There's obviously a combination. Some went 20-1, some went 16. The SP lads from the Press Association and the Sporting Life returned 18-1. Master Try for Jenny Pitman, the cuddly one, was a double carpet, 33-1 chance about a week ago. Good each-way support for that. Black Queen, well back this morning, just fails at 12-1. With Penny a Day, the best-backed horse on the course, sent off 7-1 for Mary Reevely, and last year's runner-up Family Way, fourth this time at 15-2. Kairawani was the 5-1 favourite. For that Master Tribe, the 69th British trained challenger since this was a handicap in 1976, only the third time we've won it. Barnbrook again in 87, and 10 years earlier, Decent Fellow. Now we've got Master Tribe, 18-1.
And proof, as John Bramhill came in, that it doesn't matter whether it's £50,000, £60,000 races at Leopardstown or races all over the world. A winner is a winner, and Anonym getting the hang of it. It was a 5th winner of the season for John Bramhill, 5th winner this month of January, so he's really flying, and we're flying to a break.
The new Clio Versailles is a palace on wheels. From just $7,895 on the road, it has a tilt and slide sunroof, stereo radio cassette, and 1 year's free insurance. All the standard, and for just £50 extra, I bought this. Not bad, eh? Look at that. The new Clio Versailles. Good thinking, Renault.
Hold steady. Right, let's be... Marvellous. 3 laps ahead. You've got to get off to a good start, Henry. Take your finances. It pays to get a good team behind you. Like those Equitable Life chaps. They see to it that you get more pounds working for you from day one. Not planning properly for the future can really hit you where it hurts. And we don't want to leave ourselves able to that, do we, Henry?
With more pounds working for you from day one, it's an equitable life, Henry.
Introducing the Star Trek Fact Files, the definitive new magazine series about the Star Trek universe. Detailed files on every character, every alien, every planet. Blueprints of the starships, inside information on all the technology. These files take you through every Star Trek experience, from the first missions through Star Trek First Contact and beyond. The Star Trek Fact Files, the magazine series that transports you right into the Star Trek universe, at your newsagent now.
He's still engaged. What are we going to do with him, Boo-Boo? It can't be his mother at this time of night. Right, now there's going to be trouble.
Why try and try when you can just press 5? Because with BT's new ringback service, when they finally get off the line, you'll be called back.
Hello? It's me.
Hi, Susie.
No, it's Brenda, actually.
Don't try and try. Just press 5.
I suppose I just got used to the noise at work. Didn't really bother me. Now it's all I ever hear. I feel like I'm in a world of my own.
We're going for a pint. Come on, get your stuff together.
Millions of people could have their health and their lives ruined by work. Employers could ease this unnecessary suffering by calling for a free HSE Good Health is Good Business Employers Guide on 0345 181819.
Tyre prices are down, down, down in the great Quick Fit sale with new tyres from only £12.95. So get down to Quick Fit now.
Welcome back to Wolverhampton, and down by the unsaddling enclosure, Jim McGrath's got the winning jockey.
Yes, with me a delighted John Bramhill. John, you were just explaining before Brough handed over that this is a bit of a character and you've got to get him into trouble, so to speak.
Yeah, that's right. And the more trouble you put him into, the better he runs for you. And I've done exactly that, and I've had a lovely run coming up, turning in, and he's picked up lovely. And he's gone away and done it easily. I mean, if you pulled him wide and sort of brought him down the middle, would he have just sort of stopped running with you? It would have just literally stopped. You have to put him up straight up the back of other horses as if you're clipping heels, and then the more he picks up for you. And then you've got to get like the Red Sea against the rail, don't you? That's right, yeah. But actually, for punters at home, it does seem as though the runners against the rail today have a little bit of an advantage. Yeah, I mean, lately, just run the thing out, and the best ground is on the inside just at the moment. I mean, all the horses are... My earlier horse, I won on Saturnian. I had the rail all the way around, and he's picked up nicely, and I've gone a fair good gallop in the race, so this is pretty fast ground on the inside. And tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you've had quite a good spell. You work for David Nichols, don't you? I work for David, yes. Yeah? He's a great guy to work for. He's taught me a lot about racing, and you know, if I do something wrong, he'd be first to tell me what to do and how to put it right. And how old are you, and how long have you been in racing? I've been in racing for 6 years now. I'm 24 now. I've had, that's, what, 17 winners now. 17 winners now, that's really good. 5 this year. Yeah. So. And weight? What weight can you do? I can do 7'3". You can do 7'3"? 7'3" with a bit of notice. How much notice? Because some of these jockeys in the Racing Post, it says lowest riding weight, and you know it was sort of 10 years ago when they last did that weight. Well, this time of the year I've been doing 7'4", 7'5", but during the summer I do 7'3". Yeah, well, you've done really well today, and thanks for talking to us. Best of luck in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well done. Thank you.
John Bramhill made quite a mark with his career here today, a 25-to-1 double after Saturnian, and here Anonym returned 11-2 with runner-up Sabo at 20-1. Punker was third at 16-1, and Anonym paid £8 on the tote, that's 7-1, £2.90 a place, £5.30 a place for Sabo, £2.70 for Punkar. 3 Weeks was the 9-2 favourite, and the dual forecast £465.20, the computer straight forecast £99.33, and the tricast £1,000, £537 as well, and 57 pence. But that John Bramhill, quite a young lad. I think he could make quite a career of himself and made a name today on network television.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to welcome back to Dunstall Park Pertemps, who are sponsoring the feature race on today's card, the Pertemps Handicap Stakes. Pertemps are specialists in the supply of permanent and temporary commercial and technical and industrial staff. Following the victory of Anonym, Mr. Tim Watts, chairman of Pertemps Group, will now present the trophy to Stephanie Bramhill on behalf of Weatherby's Racing Bureau. Many congratulations. Well done.
Well, there's no doubt the big news of the day is this strike by Irish bookmakers and how they have become an anachronism with their self-defeating so-called industrial action. What they're objecting to is the racecourse betting shop giving competition to them. But of course there's the different tax rates in Ireland. 10% has to be paid on in the betting shop, deduction of only 5% from the winnings. And if racecourse bookmakers think that by going on strike they're going to encourage people to come racing, just the opposite. People will go and feel they can do without them. Racecourse is delighted if bookmakers never turned up because people would bet on the tote they'd take more money from the bulls. I cannot imagine the sheer stupidity and the arrogance of Irish bookmakers going on strike. I hope the Irish racecourses stand up to them, give nothing away, give competition, free choice. In Ireland, everywhere there's a pub and a betting shop. Why shouldn't the racecourse bookmakers, why should they be protected from the competition that every other industry and every other business has to face up to? Irish racecourses stand up to those bookmakers. They don't know what they're doing. They're defeating themselves.
Well, down here, we just sprinted across from the winners' enclosure to the saddling boxes to talk to Nick Litmerden, who trains here on the course at Wolverhampton. Nick, Tallulah Bell, your runner here in this race. Last week we were talking to Gary Bardwell at Lingfield about protection for jockeys. I mean, you're better placed than anybody to judge the welfare of horses. How do they react to running on the all-weather?
I think the majority of them cope with the surface really well. I think the problem a lot of them encounter is actually the kickback itself, which is can be quite demoralising when horses getting kickback. You can find that some horses will tolerate it a lot better than others, and there are some pieces of equipment that you can use to actually aid their tolerance, which is called eye shields, which comes rather in the form of a visor, but with a mesh shield on it, which will actually stop some of the kickback, because most of the time they're flinching from actually seeing it.
But you haven't used that on this filly?
I haven't. She's a very genuine filly, and she tolerates it quite well, and although she has to be held up, she's quite adapted to the surface and is quite happy to be coming from behind. Yeah.
But you mentioned kickback. I mean, do you actually, horses scope regularly here to see if they've sort of swallowed it, so to speak?
Yeah, you can do. We do find if we gallop horses en masse here, that if you get behind, you're going to be taking in some kickback, and they'll often come back giving a cough or two, which you must actually recognise from being kickback as opposed to a horse actually being ill. And it is one.
Can you confuse that?
Effects. Yeah, you could do, really. Yeah, I mean, we do get some come back if they've been in it and they are coughing, and you misunderstand what it is, and they clear out. Eyes is another protection. We find that if they've had a hard race here and they've been in behind, some of the lads have been bathing their eyes for ages, just because it actually stings them.
So you always check the eyes. And what about? I mean, I know horses are susceptible to sand, and you can often get sort of sand cracks and
cracked heels. Probably no more than you would on a wood chip gallop. We don't find that to be a problem training here all the time, and it's not something that we have to protect against. If we do, it can be alleviated in the race just by simply putting Vaseline or something like that on it.
So basically, with a few precautions, there's absolutely no problems with running horses on the all-weather at all?
No, I've got to say, I think most horses actually love the surface. I think we get more problems from kickback, as I said.
Do you really? And tell us about yourself. How many horses have you got here?
We've got about 30 on our books. We've got a dual licence, and we're not just confined. Some people think we're just all-weather trainers, but we're not. We train on the turf as well, and we've got a national hunt licence, so, you know, we're very mixed.
And what about your background in racing, Nick? I mean, who have you worked for?
Well, I started off with Mick Massey in Lewis and spent my time there, and I've had spells as assistant with a few other people, and one was Jenny Pitman. I've been with Charles Sizer for a while as well. Worked in an equine vet clinic, so I've done the rounds.
You've done the rounds,
yeah.
And you're doing very well. And you're very happy?
Very happy, yeah. I've been training just 2 years now, yeah, and I think we've had about 25 winners in 2 years. Yeah.
Oh, well done. Final question. I mean, we stood here with the thing. How's she going to run?
Well, I think she'll go very well. She possibly needed the race last week, and hopefully she comes on a bit from that. She's a very genuine filly, and I think she'll put up a good show here, but she's got a stone and a half to give the bottom weight, although I don't think the bottom weight's entirely trustworthy. So.
Move the clouds?
Yeah.
So you'll be there to shift her if she doesn't want to move?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Yeah.
Well done, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Okay.
And taking SP now from the 3 o'clock at Lingfield, where Mystery, the 3-to-1 favourite, obliged. Second, Lily Jacques at 7-2, and Winborn was third also, 7-2.
And the Ladbroke at Leopardstown. Let's get up to date with the SP as such. Remind ourselves of the result. Master Tribe 18-1, Black Queen at 12s, Penny a Day at 7-1, Family Way at 15-2, win for Jenny Pitman. And afterwards, Robert Hall asked Mark Pitman. It was a pretty stylish performance.
The horse was always travelling, going down the back. You know, he's going so well. I'm wanting to pinch myself because I can't believe that he's going so well. We came very close a few years ago when I was second on Disc Train, and we ran Wonder Man in it the following year, and he didn't quite come up with the goods. But this is a good horse. We've never lost faith in him. The times he's got beat, he's had valid excuses, and you know, we're delighted. We took him to Wolverhampton last week because everywhere's been so frozen at home. We took him to Wolverhampton, and we just did about 5 miles nice and steady, and it's just put the edge on him. And I rode him this morning, and I came over from the hospital from the hotel with Mike Dillon, and I rode him this morning, and he felt so good. I was so tempted to have 20 quid on, but I didn't, and I'm kicking myself now. But you know, we're chuffed.
Well, he's an English winner, but we count him as an Irish horse because, of course, he was a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old with Con Collins. How did you come about him?
Well, the owner saw my mother on the telly when we won the National, and they want to win National. and I think their idea is to, they want this horse to be a national horse. I don't know whether he'll ever be that, but he's certainly a very decent hurdler.
Jebel Ali Racing Stables, who are they now?
Well, you'll have to ask I've got the owner's representative here. They can fill you in on that.
Michael Stride?
Yes, it's that firm.
Well, it's a wonderful performance. Many congratulations. You'll go home happy. Your mother not over here today, but no doubt watching in.
Yeah, she'll be watching in. She got a bit of a cold when she went to Wolverhampton, and so it's just on her chest a bit. So I got called into service, which I'm delighted to be here.
It'll be on my chest now. Many congratulations indeed, Mark. Wonderful performance. Good winner.
Thank you very much indeed.
Celebrations in the Pitman camp, and we were talking before to John Bramhill, celebrating and saying he can do 7 stone 3 with a little bit of notice. Well, with us now, long-time champion jockey, star of Wolverhampton the day, Terry Biddlecombe. 10 stone 3 with a bit of notice, 11 stone 3 with a notice.
Been a week. It's a bit different now. We used to finish down the back there and pull up under the railway bridge.
Absolutely, and they go a heck of a gallop on this sand, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, they go from start to finish, and they see kicking, anything gets home, gets home. I see they got a jump track on the outside, it looks a bit sharp.
Very narrow, too.
Oh, there's plenty of room.
But, Terry, amongst your many assets is of course, the linchpin of the Henrietta Knight team, but you're also part of the Russell, Borbin and Bright, who are doing a breeze-up sale here on the 10th of March. Why Wolverhampton for a breeze-up?
Well, I think basically we've got to start in the Midlands, and I think there's lots of people around here, such as Reg Holland said, and that they all sort of take the horse there, and young horses. The horses then, the thing about it, the horse is prepared before, and it's less cost for expense for the owner to send into training straight away, and consistent going here, and I can see it really taking off.
Because, I mean, you've bought them at other breeze-ups. What are the ground like here compared for this 2-year-old on the breeze-up compared to
I think it'd be better. Doncaster, if it's sort of dry season, it's not prepared properly, and it gets pretty rough and hard there. And you can do damage before they even get to a track. But here, I can't see them doing any damage whatsoever, and it's got to be a good thing. Especially for us anyway, it's our first venture into it, and I think it will work.
And Terry, there's an incentive thing. 100, it's restricted to 100 lots, isn't it?
Yes.
And they all can go for this big Weatherby's Dash, August the 16th.
Well, this is right, which is a good thing. I mean, it's going to attract a lot of attention, and I think this is the start of things to come. We'll get a lot of support, and as I said, it's in the right area, next to the motorway, and it's not far from sort of Lambourne, and there's lots of small trainers around here. Reg Holland said. And with a bit of luck, lots and lots of people will support it. I
don't know how many of the small trainers are yet into the internet, but if they are, they can, they can actually tune in to the internet from all over the world. You can actually get the lots via the internet.
Oh yeah, this is right. I've seen Paul Kellaway today, and he said talking about the sort of the sales here, and so I just dropped him off to Terry Court, and I said we got another customer, so he's going to put one in himself. And there's some expensive yearlings being sold. One costs 28,000. So that's going to come here, so that's maybe put us on the map with a bit of luck.
So it's on the, for the season, 10th of March?
10th of March, yes, and then it's
Weatherby's Dash.
15th of April, which is good. 30,000 is very, very good. It's good for racing. And I hope it is a success, because the firm itself has put a lot of work into this. You know, we do them over in sales and that, and then we sort of another venture. And I think racing needs this sort of thing, especially this going here will definitely suit young horses, and people who are on top of the horses, they're not too far away from you. You can see what speed they go, whether they get the trip, how they act on the going.
And this is the first breeze-up sale on an all-weather course, isn't it? So
yes, yeah. It's got to work, hasn't it?
It's got to work.
Got to work.
Terry behind it. It has to work.
Thank you.
Well, there are 28 bookmakers here at Wolverhampton, as you can see behind me. They're not doing too much business. They've all got families to feed, but they're not going up very early because they're not pricing up a horse, Name of Our Father. That's number 6, so it's betting bar the 1. Waiting for a price of Name of Our Father. And the early favourite, 6-4, Move the Clouds. Only 1 or 2 bookmakers are up. The bottom one, Move the Clouds, is put in at 6-4, with 7-2, number 1, the top one, Holders Hill, 9-2 against Prophet's Honour, and it's then 7-1 Hazel, 8-1 to Lula Bell, and 12-1 Touch and Go. I'm looking for a price down there, and it's still no price against Name of Our Father. Is this a mystery horse? Do the bookies know something that we don't?
How could that be? Here at Wolverhampton, they'll be turning the lights on soon. We'll be back after the break.
The new Clio Versailles is a palace on wheels. From just $7,895 on the road, It has a tilt and slide sunroof, stereo radio cassette, and 1 year's free insurance.
All the standard, and for just £50 extra, I bought this.
Not bad, eh? Look at that. The new Clio Versailles. Good thinking, Renault.
Have you seen my razor?
I think it's on the cabinet.
Okay. Whose is that?
It's nothing to do with me.
What do you think you're playing at?
It's not mine. Don't look at me.
I thought we told you to be careful.
John, I think we're the ones who should have been careful.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance.
If your family suddenly grows, so too will your responsibilities. That's why Allied Dunbar financial plans adapt, so you can face the unexpected.
Let's face the music and dance.
Allied Dunbar, for the life you don't yet know.
I used to live and breathe for my work. The social life, the job. I loved it all. It all seems so long ago now.
Millions of people could have their health and their lives ruined by work.
You all right, mate?
Employers could ease this unnecessary suffering by calling for a free HSE Good Health is Good Business Employer's Guide on 0345 181819.
From the makers of In the Name of the Father.
Talking about a hunger strike.
You must not do this, did you hear me?
I love you. Helen Mirren, Some Mother's Son.
Welcome back to Wolverhampton. The horses are going out on the track. No strikes here, so John McCrick is with us in the betting ring.
Well, there's almost a strike because bookmakers not pricing up Name of Our Father. Hold up, they were saying right round the ring. They put in it 3-1. It's now a 4-1 chance. Name of Our Father, 7-4 favourite, Move the Clouds, 4-1, Holders Hill, Name of Our Father, and 5-1, Prophet's Honour. But ask yourselves, why do the bookies have a hold up, not laying Name of Our Father for so long?
This the Weatherby's Maiden Stakes. It's over a mile, 1.5 this time. There are 11 runners listed by Graham.
And Holders Hill trades at 4-1, Jimmy Quinn. Pride would pick a 12-1, Richard Perham. Prophet's Honour, 5-1, Steve Drown, for the stable very much informed, the Pat Haslam Yard. Tango Man, 33-1, Francis Norton. Flagstaff, 33-1, Tony Culhane. Name of Our Father, 4-1. Now ridden by Richard Johnson, note, rerouted from Newcastle. Hazel is Visor today, 7-1, Jason Weaver. Kulu Popsy, 50-1, Vince Halliday. Tallulah Bell, 8-1, Tom McLaughlin. Touch and Go, 12-1, Tyrone Williams. And the jolly old favourite is Move the Clouds, partnered by Neil Varley, who claims a £3 allowance. That's the lineup. It's the Weatherby's Group Maiden Stakes.
Number 1, Holders Hill. Trained by Michael Mear, ridden by Jimmy Quinn, has 9 stone 13 to carry. Been a little bit unlucky to run into 2 hot pots on his last 2 starts, both round here. Chasing home 1 for the ditch last week, and the week before that running into a little bit of a gamble in Raheen. He's a horse who's soon off the bridle and has done all his running to gain his placing in the latter stages of his race. So if you've backed him, I think you'll find Jimmy Quinn will be working quite hard early on.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a tip there, because 1 for the ditch, trained by James Fanshawe. In actual fact, he was James's first all-weather winner. That was here last Saturday. He trains, of course, Move the Clouds, and she's only had a couple of runs, owned by Bill Gredley. And last time out, she put in a promising effort. That was here behind, well, not a bad horse called Premier.
Should say that she's being led to the start. She's definitely got ability, this lady, but there's no doubt that she has a temperament to boot too. If you were with us at Doncaster for the final flat meeting of the season, you'll have seen that she delayed a division of the maiden race by some 15 minutes that afternoon by cantering loose and ending up the far side of Rose Hill. But she ran pretty well on her debut at Doncaster, and then, as John's just told you, finished 3rd here the other day, and what was, for the track, a fair maiden. Name of Our Father, trained by Peter Bowen, ridden by Fergal Lynch, is a horse who, on the flat, latterly, I beg your pardon, Richard Johnson, as Graham gave you, Richard Johnson having his first ride as a flat jockey, but in point of fact was a champion amateur rider on the flat, as well as a highly successful jump jockey. I'm sure many of you know him. Rather disappointing, the horse on the flat, but made a winning start for his connections over hurdles at a big price at Warwick the other day, and definitely comes into the reckoning here.
Prophet's Honour, the runner from Patrick Haslam's yard, got a 42% strike rate so far. Horse has been in tremendous form, and this horse was actually beaten a fair way last time out. That was at Southerby on Fresh Fruit Daily, over a distance a furlong further than today. That was his first run for some time though, and ought to improve from that run.
He's a pretty able horse, John, relative to most of these, certainly, and not a bad hurdler 18 months ago. I'm guessing, but one assumes that when a horse has been off as long as Prophet's Honour, he's had a bit of leg trouble and probably needed the run the other day. And he is probably one of only 4 that you could seriously put in this with a winning chance, at least on all-known form. 7, the roan mare, or grey now, Hazel. A mare by Risk Me, has a bit of form, but the gist of that, looking through it, suggests that she's got a bit to do to actually win here. 1 or 2 of the others will not have to give their running, and she'll have to run as well as she's ever done. But that, as they say in racing, is the glorious uncertainty of it all.
Move the Clouds, the mover in the market, with the wrong way. From 6 to 4 out to 5 to 2, Move the Clouds, as the supports come for the top one, Holders Hill. From 4 to 1, 7 to 2, now 3 to 1, second best. Name of Our Father is a 9 to 2 chance. 1 or 2 bookmakers calling 5 against it, and some support coming from Prophet's Honour too, at 9 to 2 and 5 to 1. Hazel's then put in at 8 to 1, with 10 to 1 to Lulabelle, but it's now 5 to 1, and Name of Our Father's now gone out to 5 to 1, the hold-up horse early.
One would think the drift there is because of the picture down at the bottom there. You can see Move the Clouds. Punters on the track probably don't want to know anything about her, particularly if they've not been racing before. And that's the chance you take. Filly with form, but with temperament. And if you didn't know she behaved like that, then not surprising that you wouldn't want to support her. Actually, on the day, on the track. And I wouldn't think there's much money in that way for her at all. What about the others, John?
Well, there's 2 or 3 others here with half a chance, and we had a brief look at Hazel. That's to Lulabelle, who you've just seen being tacked up. We've heard the trainer's views on this one's chance, and he thought that if Holders Hill was fancied, then you must fancy this one. Finished quite close to it the time before last. And the best thing about this one is if it doesn't win or doesn't run very well, hasn't got far to go home. It's usually when you've driven a long way and your horse has run badly, and you're the trainer or the connection. Anyway,
that's one of your great attributes. You can always find a silver cloud.
Always got to look on the bright side.
And quite a move for Hazel for Gay Kellaway. 8 to 1, 6 to 1, now 5 to 1. Hazel, that's the late springer in the betting. Move the Clouds out to 3 to 1, and his joint favourite along with Holders Hill. And 5 to 1 bar, that's Hazel, Prophet's Honour, and Name of Our Father. But the late springer, Hazel for Gay Kellaway.
Hazel, who wore blinkers for the first time last time, equipped with a visor today. And clearly expected, and the Kellaway team going very well. Now gone 9 to 2, Hazel, 9 to 2.
Well, 5 of these have been running over hurdles, and Pridewood Picker ran quite well at Warwick in the middle of December, finishing second, and prior to that, been running over a
one at Ladbroke, John. I saw him win before that Warwick run you just referred to. He's a horse that, over hurdles, takes a really good hold of his bridle. And one would think he'd have no problems with coping running around a mile with these. Whether he'll finish as strongly or so strongly as 1 or 2 of the others is open to question. Over hurdles, you have to bring him with one short, sweet run to get the best out of him. Move the Clouds 3-1, drifted all the time as Holders Hill comes in, the same price, 3-1. Prophet's Honour and Hazel 9-2. Name of Our Father 5-1, and they don't think the others have got a prayer. I beg your pardon, Name of Our Father just gone 6s as we speak. So GG, I got the pun in first, you can call the race.
As Prophet's Honour goes in. That's it, lined up. And slow to stride was Tango Man on the inside, lost any chance really at the start. Up there early, Cooley Popsy wide on the course is Touch and Go running fast. Also Holders Hill, Flagstaff through on the inside, Hazel. And trying to take a position early on is Name of the Father. It's Prophet's Honour of the orange colours that leads as they come up past us. To Touch and Go sitting second. The grey mare Move the Clouds sitting in third place now, just in front of Cooley Popsy and Tallulah Bell, who's wide on the course. Hazel runs the rail, followed by Name of Our Father and then Holders Hill, and a gap of several lengths to the trailers, and that's Flagstaff and Briarwood Picker and Tango Man all find this a little bit too much. Name of Our Father being ridden along there by Richard Johnson in the red and white star jacket. On the front end, though, it's Touch and Go, the outside of Prophet's Honour 1 and 2. Move the Clouds in third, sitting pretty in 4 is Hazel, and then racing 5 Tallulah Bell. This quintet, a length and a half to the good over Prophet's Honour, Name of the Father, Cooley Popsy being pushed along. Then Flagstaff just trying to take a bit of a move and take a claim in the race. They've got just over half a mile to go. It's Move the Clouds on the outside of Touch and Go 1 and 2. Prophet's Honour the rail third, Hazel 4, and then Tallulah Bell swinging along nicely in 5. They're pulled clear of Holders Hill. It's Move the Clouds moving wide on the track, and it's Touch and Go through on the inside. Races Prophet's Honour. Then behind that comes Tallulah Bell with a dark sneeze going as well as any at this stage. Move the Clouds, 3-1 favourite at the off, but it's Touch and Go that just has the edge. Move the Clouds, flashing a tail, but that propeller action's not helping. Look at this Tallulah Bell, train on the track, go for home now as they come to the top of the home run. It's Tallulah Bell, 2 in second place, Touch and Go, Prophet's Honour. Then behind that, Move the Clouds, what a moving madam she is, a furlong to go. And it's Tallulah Bell gone clear of Touch and Go in second, and then Prophet's Honour. That's staying on very well indeed as they race up towards the line. Tallulah Bell's going to take it. Tallulah Bell clear by 5 to 6. Tallulah Bell is the winner. Prophet's Honour in second place. Hazel comes home third. Touch and Go 4. Move the Clouds in 5, but in front of Flagstaff, and the field trail back to Briarwood Picker, who was last of all. And so trained on the track, number 9 Tallulah Bell has won in the colours of Trojan Racing, trained by Nick Lipperton and ridden by Tom McLaughlin, 10-1. And all she has to do is turn right within inside 5 minutes. She'll be in her stables. Second horse home is number 3, Prophet's Honour. Steve Drown rides with that in-form all-weather man. Pat Haslam, Martin Wickens, orange colours there, held in second place. Third horse home is Hazel, the colours of Mrs. Liz Nelson, worn today by Jason Weaver. Gay Kellaway trains, but it's this filly Tallulah Bell, who had form with Holders Hill, and clearly a progressive filly this, has come home in good style. Tom McLaughlin can look round. You can borrow my binoculars if you like. He's so far clear.
Well, who needs to go racing when you can sit at home, get first-hand information off the trainer, be told that the horse has an excellent chance, and plenty of reason and evidence to substantiate it, and then sit back and watch it travelling well throughout, never ever in any doubt of whether it was going to win or not. Tom McLaughlin sitting comfortably, and as the grey filly there, Move the Clouds, dropped back really quickly. She came through, quickened up well, and it was Patrick Haslam's Prophet's Honour who ran on to take second place, but really it was a long way behind. This winner won really easily, Tallulah Bell. Prophet's Honour running on to be second. Hazel coming again late to take third spot. 26 horses in training here on the course. Nick Litmoden, and this success and the fact that she was well fancied certainly won't have done his training career any harm whatsoever.
A fluctuating market, weak betting though, but Tallulah Bell returned the 10-1, 6 favourite, and plenty of local cheers going out for Nick Litmanen's runner, returned at 10-1, 6 best. The runner-up Profits Honour, there was some money for this, sent off at 9-2, and those each-way backers of Hazel, they're rewarded if they got these 8 and 7-1 early, returned 9-2 against Hazel. The weak favourite was Move the Cloud, sent off at 3-1. The distance is 4 lengths and a length and 3/4, but that Tallulah Bell, one for the locals and one for the bookie chappies too at 10-1.
Well, happy scenes here. Come on, come and talk to us. We heard you all cheering. You're the owners.
Yes, we are, yes.
Who are you?
Terry Britton.
Right.
And Stephanie Clark.
Stephanie Clark.
Well done.
It's, 23 starts, and she finally won a race for us.
And you've had her all this time?
Yeah.
We've had her since she was a foal.
We were talking to the trainer who's busy here with the horse, Nick Litmanen, before racing, and he said she'd run really well.
Yeah.
So were you on?
Yes, we were, yes. It's gone for a bit of a walk in the market, but we did have a bit on her, yes.
Yeah. And where are you based yourselves?
Well, we're based all over the country. We live down on the south coast, but we travel around quite a lot ourselves because we've got different interests down the country.
If I can interrupt, why here at Wolverhampton when you're based in the south, for example?
Well, because it's a very long story, but Nick contacted us about something completely different, and I got on particularly well with Nick. I think he's got a great setup up here. And he's a young trainer at the moment that's going to go far in the future, as you've seen already this year.
Well, come in too, Nick. Come in. Don't back away blushing.
Can I have the money?
Well, actually, let's just go through one or two specifics. Don't get a kick, by the way. Are you sure? Yeah. Nick, how much a week to have a horse with you?
£125.
£125.
Yeah.
Now, Brough was just saying, the deal is fantastic if you get the right horse, because you can actually come and stay in the hotel here and watch them work.
I mean, that's Terry and Steph been up last night. We get plenty of owners doing that, and we have a good time. I mean, we enjoy the yard. We've got a good team.
Tonight.
And yeah, he's now stopping another night.
Yeah. I'm going to stuff out of the car now. I'd already packed.
And Stephanie, 23 races. You've had her for what, 3 years?
Yes.
And I mean, you finally won one.
Yes.
What sort of a thrill is it?
It's brilliant. I can't believe it.
Well, can you describe it?
We always thought that she would win a race, and she's been so unlucky. She's been placed quite a number of times. We always thought she'd win a race. It's just really nice to get there now.
Yeah. Trainer's wife here as well. Come on, who are you?
My name's Jo.
Joan.
Yeah. This is the most brilliant thing, because this is my favourite horse. It really is. I ride her, I look after her, I ride her, and I've taken so much stick from the lads about her. This is just so good. Eventually I can actually say to them, now, this horse has won a race, so I don't want to have any more from you lot.
But actually, I want to say to you, I mean, when I sort of came to talk to you about one or two things before racing, you've been out catching a goat this morning, haven't you? Come on, tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, actually, Linda Muddle came up to me and said, could I send some of the lads up, because there was a goat loose on Gorsebrook Road, which was causing a few problems. So I thought in the end I couldn't see them kind of getting a goat, so I said, all right, I'll do it then. So I went out and there's poor little goats just eating grass on the side.
But what have you done with it?
Left it in the racecourse stables. We thought it was Neville Bycroft's, to be honest, but we looked in his box and his goat was already in there. So we're not quite sure what's happened to it.
And your jockey's in the background though. Come on, let's get everybody in, because I know Tom very well. He's in the time. Well done.
Thank you.
And you work for Nick?
On a Saturday.
On a Saturday?
Just Saturday,
yeah.
I mean, 23 races and not one, but a bit of confidence behind her chances here today. I mean,
yeah, well, fair use to Nick and Nicky Carlisle, who's been there. He got the trip right.
Yeah.
So I took my hat off to him, because I didn't think she'd stay in one and a quarter.
You didn't?
No.
But all the way around, I mean, Franks was sort of groaning because he backed something else in the race, and he was saying from halfway, oh, there's only 1-1. He said, we were told 10 minutes ago.
But I did, coming around the bend, I thought, well, shall I be cheeky and go between these? And I thought, no, because that's a funny old filly, that one, of James Fanshawe's. I thought, I'd pace safe, go around the outside. She's done it easy. I think when I looked around, I thought, another shock, because the last one I had for you here, we bolted up as well, didn't we?
Well, the great thing is you're entitled to a party, and nobody has to drive home from it.
I do. I've got to drive to Newmarket.
Well done, and thank you very much. Well done. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And the result of that race, Tallulah Bell, 10-1, played £13.90 for a win, £1.70 for a place. Profits Honour second at 9-2, £2 for a place, £1.40 for a place if you backed Hazel, a 9-2 shot on the books.
Many people, when they come racing, want to do it in style, at their leisure. They don't want to go up and down into the betting ring, especially on a cold day like this, or even bet on the tote downstairs. They don't mind about seeing the horse in the paddock at the back. They like to have a meal, relax, have a drink, and have all their betting at the table. And the Tote have brought in this new system of Tote Direct, where you have your own television screen and get, apart from Wolverhampton, gives the various bets that happen, and also you can have a bet here. So, Sharon, let's go and see if they're going to win here. Who do you fancy?
I have £5 each way on number 2 in 350 race, please.
£5 each way, number 2 in the 350. How does that work?
Race 2, race 6.
Right.
£5 each way, then you have to change the race channels. You can pick whichever race you want. Race 6, so £5 each way on horse number 2. And you send it through.
And what does the punter get?
He gets a ticket.
He gets a ticket. So there you can see the ticket, so much better than a bookmaker's ticket, which doesn't actually give the name of the horse, just gives the bookmaker's firm. There's the amount staked, and on the horse, and on the race. So there's your ticket. So let's have your tenner. Where's your tenner? You've got to fork out your tenner as well. There you are, there you are. Out comes all his money. There's your tenner. So that's a very simple way of having a bet, really enjoying yourself here. And of course, you know, some coffee. Bring some coffee in. I think they want some coffee after that great performance there. This is the way really to go racing, where you're looked after. You can sit down, enjoy the races, see all the horses, all the action in front of you, and bet at the table. And Tote Direct have got a great system here that it goes straight into the pool. You can bet at other meetings apart from here at Wolverhampton. You better bet at Lingfield as well today. So it's the way of the future. They do it in America, at greyhound tracks in this country as well, in some of them. And more courses are going to be taking up Tote Direct. What a great way it is to come racing. And Sharon, you'd agree with that, wouldn't you, Shah?
Oh, yes.
Good girl.
They are pace setting here at Wolverhampton, and that innovation is long overdue. It's absolutely pathetic that the British racecourses, you go and have a smart lunch and all the rest of it, and you can't get a bet on. People have to queue up like sort of Dumbos. It really is really feeble, and Wolverhampton is breaking through. Well, here they're also breaking up the ground, getting it harrowed neatly, but I must say the thoughts that they would go wide have been completely changed, and I must say Dale Gibson got it completely right in the papers this morning. They had to come up the inside is the place to be. On the outside you can see the jumps course. In the Terry Biddlecombe days, they used to go right out by that housing estate and finish up by the viaduct, but here it's a very narrow jumps course, but it serves as a place to come, quite a neat flat track. It is a place to come and bring them. And we're going to bring you one more live race. That's after this break.
Sony Handycam Vision, because life isn't a spectator sport.
Every year, thousands of people turn to Guardian Direct for low-cost car and home insurance. Because they know when things go wrong, just one call is all it takes to start putting things right. So if you want low-cost car or home insurance and would like to have someone you can always turn to, call Guardian Direct.
Beer, anyone? Oh, I'd love one.
Me too.
Oh, no, come on. That's private.
It's only a trip to Canada, Nick, not some mucky video.
I'm not so sure.
Hey, that's Toronto. Oh, dinner's ready.
What? Just when we're getting to the juicy bits?
Looks romantic.
Oh, that's Niagara Falls, Ontario. I tried some of the most amazing Ontario wines.
Hello. Looks like you had a few adventures while you were in Ontario, Nick, and made new friends.
For your free travel guide to Canada, call now on 0800 10 40 60.
Oh, Quebec.
It looks like it has a real je ne sais quoi.
Mais oui.
You certainly got up to all sorts of things in Quebec, Nick. Mm-hmm.
Montreal and Quebec City was so alive, so friendly.
For your free travel guide to Canada, call now on 0800 10 40 60.
That's Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia. So much history. And anywhere in Nova Scotia, you're never more than half an hour from the sea.
I think Nick found his natural calling.
Discover Canada's true nature. Call us now on 0800 10 40 60.
Welcome back here to Wolverhampton, where they've been attracting sponsors aplenty on this televised day. The last race sponsored by Weatherby's. Their chairman, Johnny Weatherby, is with us now. And of course, hearing from Terry, the Weatherby's Dash is going to be the sort of climax, August the 16th, to the Breeze Up sale. Why have you got involved with that?
Well, Brough, we have a policy of sponsorship, mainly at race courses that give us their race card. So as part of this deal, we'll be getting the race cards from Wolverhampton and Southall.
What, 2 Weatherby's?
Yeah.
So you'll be dealing through that?
Yeah, and we do about sort of 60, we'll be doing about 60 races this year. So we're now the 3rd largest sponsor in terms of the number of races actually sponsored. And the Breeze Up one, to us, is important because not only do we get the race cards, but we also have launched just recently the British Racing Centre, which is this new service on the internet. And the Breeze Up sale is actually going to be on the internet for the first time. It'll be the first time we've ever had a sale in this country actually on the internet. It'll have free access to anybody around the world, so anybody can go in, as long as they've got internet access, they can go in, get access to the sale here, look up all the lots, and that catalogue will then be linked through to the British Racing Centre main database. So you'll be able to look at horses that are about to be sold, click on, say, the SAR of the animal concerned, that'll flick them back to the main database, and then you get live form data for those horses all the way up to the day of the sale.
Do you think the days of those great Thunderbig catalogues being sent around the world can be over?
Well, not yet, but I think the future, I think the future is, yes, probably. I mean, at the moment, a lot of people don't have access to the internet, so they physically need something. They've got to have something to carry around and look at. But at the moment, a sales catalogue is almost out of date as soon as it's produced, because you've got horses, obviously, within the pedigree that are racing and winning and stuff. So the internet gives you the chance to have up-to-date pedigrees right up to the day of the sale.
And it's infinitely easier than lumbering through these great things.
Sure.
But talking about technology, you're also involved with, talking about access too, of the new pass system, which is to get people into race courses. How does that work?
The idea there is to make getting into race courses, as you say, as easy as possible for owners and trainers and jockeys in the future. Now, up to now, you've had owners turning up at a race course. They have to queue to a window. The person will then ask them, what horse have you got, what's your name? And sometimes, and it happens more often than you think, they'll actually find that their own badges have been nicked by somebody else who's pretending to be them. So the idea here is you literally just turn up at the gate, you pass over your pass card, somebody swipes it through, and it immediately will come up on the screen, as you've got there, the name of the owner and the number of badges that person is entitled to.
But have you got to know a password? I mean, if I've nicked well, if I've nicked your pass card, can I just get in then?
No, well, the thing is, you can only get in if you've got runners on that day. Now, we will download information from Weatherby's to the racecourse every morning on race day with all the information about the owners. So if you turn up as an owner who haven't got a runner that day, you're not going to be able to get in, unless, obviously, you've made prior arrangements with the racecourse. But that's up to the racecourse. At the end of the day, and this is a racecourse association scheme, and it's up to them, each individual racecourse, to give away as many badges as they want. But it should make life a lot easier for owners when they turn up at the racetrack.
And what about the non-owners? The days of the blagging way in over, are they?
The what?
The people who are not owners blagging their way in. Don't think that doesn't happen.
No, of course it does. I mean, that's part of the problem. We want to get away from that, from an owner turning up to find his badges have been nicked by somebody else pretending to be him. So it should be, it should be a good system. And, I mean, it's not our system. We were asked by the RCA to go away and design a system write all the programmes and give them a quote, and that's what we produced. And today is the first time it's been shown at Wolverhampton. It only started on January the 1st.
Weatherby's first for progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brough.
Half the fun of racing and getting in for nothing's just gone out the window, but plenty of fun for the owners of Hatterfay. That's won at 5 to 1 at Lingfield. Pedal to the metal. Second at 11 to 2. Third home was Guest Alliance 4 to 1. Stalled the 15 to 8 favourite.
The lights at Wolverhampton not switched on now, but this is at its best in the evenings, of course, for the evening meeting. There's GG up there, waving to us all bright. We should have the spotlight on you, GG, right. The great star of the programme. That's what really the fun at Wolverhampton is. Don't wave, please behave yourselves. The great fun of coming to Wolverhampton is in the evening with the lights on, etc. Here is the last race of the day, of course, very important, on Channel 4. Lots of people trying to get out of trouble or play up their winnings, but they're asking for odds. There's Chatterer Rolt, number 3, asking 5 to 4 on Chatterer Rolt. 3 to 1 the top one, Milroy. I'll go down the card with you. 3 to 1 Milroy, 12 to 1 number 2, Mutterbeth, 5 to 4 on Chatterer Rolt, 5 to 1 Skelton Sovereign, 10 to 1 Danehill Princess, 14 to 1 State of Gold, and 12 to 1 Silent Valley. Remember, Silent Valley used to be a steeplechaser trained by Ian Jordan in the old days. Another it's called Silent Valley, runner-up in a Hennessy. A bit sad to see these horses' names change like this. But when the bookmakers put in Chatterer Rolt at odds on 5 to 4 on, somebody said it's coming down as fast as Richard Branson in his Virgin Balloon. And a wag answered back, what do you expect? Put a prick in a balloon!
One of the least original offerings, even from that particular source. We better take a break.
You're late, you're late, you're late, you're late.
The Coral handicap coming here, and don't forget the monkey is going on Chateau, whatever it's called. Anthony Dooler from Blackpool is on that one, so he's pretty tense. So I'm sure he's Graham for the last event of the occasion. 7 runners listed now.
Top weight here is Milroy Advisor today, 7 to 2 chance with Michael Wigham. Mutahadeth, 14 to 1 Joe Fanning. Chateau the 11 to 10 on favourite now, Stephen Drown rides. Trading at 5 to 1 Skelton Sovereign, now ridden by Nick Carlisle, note that. Number 5 is Danehill Princess Blinkered, 12 to 1 chance with Jimmy Quinn. Then we got from stall 4 State of Gold Blinkered, 14 to 1 Neil Kennedy. And then being a little bit iffish about going down to the start. So from stall 1 he'll be racing from is Silent Valley, who's Blinkered, a 12 to 1 chance, partnered by John Bramhill, going for a hat-trick then today on Silent Valley. And a critical running at Southall yesterday. This is the Coral handicap, it's over a mile wide.
Well, Chateau Harrow was a very easy winner just a few days ago, and that was down at Lingfield on the faster surface of the Equitrack, and came from quite a way behind. I just had my doubts about how genuine he looked. Jim McGrath disagreed with me this morning, and maybe the one thing you've got to say, perhaps this horse just wants a little bit further. I just thought they're coming off the bend, he was just hanging fire slightly, but as they got closer towards the line, then Double Espresso just began to tire slightly. This horse began to get into his stride. They pulled a long way clear of the third horse, And Jim, you thought that was going to be good enough this afternoon?
Well, I just think that the extra test of stamina will suit this horse, because there's definitely places more emphasis on stamina than Lingfield. He's definitely right in saying he's got a little bit of a high head carriage. My point was that if he'd run 1.25 miles on the turf as a 2-year-old, then 1.25 miles around Lingfield was going to be a very minimum for him. Chateau Hero is the choice of our Monkey Business winner on the morning line this morning. Monkey Business, of course, competition you can enter every week now, whereby you ring a number that we give you on the morning line, you answer a simple question, and you get the chance to win a £500 bet. Those who answer the simple question go into a random draw, and Anthony Dooler won that this morning. And Anthony's on the line now. How are the old nerves, Anthony?
We're a bit nervous.
Bit nervous? Yeah. And have you had any other bets today?
No, not at all, no.
Not at all? You've waited all afternoon for this?
That's right, yes.
What's the, if I may ask you, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, what's the biggest bet you've had prior to today?
Around about £20.
Around about £20, so this could be a little bit of a windfall if it comes off.
It certainly will be.
And have you been following Pat Haslam, because he's had 8 winners already this year?
Yes, I'm from Yorkshire, and I go out to meet them quite often.
Oh, right. So you know Pat and his team quite well, then, do you?
Well, I don't know Pat, but I watch them train.
Right. And how long have you been interested in racing?
All my life.
All your life?
20, 30, 40 years.
And, I mean, are you a regular Saturday punter? I mean, for example, do you follow the dreadful tips we give you on the morning line?
Well, I try.
What, you try not to follow them, or you try to follow them?
I try to follow them.
You try to follow them. Oh, well, you're down today if you've been following. Let's hope Chateau Hero is a lot luckier. Good luck.
Thank you very much indeed.
Let's pick a few more out to take a close-up at Milroy. He's the runner of Paul Calloway. It's a tubby little individual, this, and runs in a visor. And he's already won at Lingfield on the all-weather. Actually ran well there the other day in the nursery, just the back end of December.
Odds against now, this Chateau Herold. They wouldn't bet the odds on. Is now 11 to 10 against Chateau Herold. They took the 7 to 2 Milroy. That's come into 3 to 1. A weak Skelton Sovereign out to 6 to 1. But Silent Valley, that's the one being supported as the long shot. John Bramhill, of course, on a treble now. In from 14 to 1. 9 to 1 is the price against Silent Valley. It's then 14 to 1 bar. But odds against Chateau Herold. Tips 11 to 10. Will any bookie go 6 to 5? I'm waiting for it.
Dr. Hadith is obviously the last to be installed here. And they kick away over a stretch mile 1 furlong here. And through the first furlong, it's Milroy on the outside. That's the Pathfinder. Milroy, the visored runner, just has the edge to on the inside. State of Gold, whilst wide on the course, Danehill Princess. And it's Danehill Princess that takes over as they pass the line for the first time. Danehill Princess to State of Gold, and then Milroy. At this stage, Chateau Hero is just being pushed along in 4th place and running a bit wide there, Anthony, as they make the first turn. And on the inside, it's State of Gold that has it just to Milroy in 2nd place. Then Danehill Princess, the outside of Silent Valley, and then we have Chateau Hero as they line up down the back straight. Just over 3/4 of a mile to go now. On the inside of Chateau Hero is Mutahadith, and the back marker well outpaces Skelton Sovereign. Continuing the run down the back stretch and blinking for the first time, this State of Gold on the inside of Milroy are 1 and 2. Now Chateau Hero is in the red and white colours on the extreme left of the picture, and at this stage is about 3 lengths off the pace, and they've got half a mile to go. Milroy on the outside of State of Gold, 1 and 2. Then Mutahadith getting a little bit closer now in black and red. Then Chateau Hero wide on the course. A length and a half behind these comes Danehill Princess, who's trying to pick up. Silent Valley runs the rail. Skelton Sovereign still last. Milroy goes to home as they got just over 2 to go. 1 more turn to take, and it's Milroy in the lead to State of Gold, the rail. Chateau Hero under pressure in 2nd place, and it's Milroy under Michael Wigan that's got first run on the pack as they head for home now. Milroy has it clear by about 3 lengths to Chateau Hero. We know he finishes, and he's trying to put a big stride to some effect. Milroy, though, is galloping on resolutely, and with a furlong to go, has 4 lengths to spare over the favourite Chateau Hero in 2nd. They're well clear of placed horses. Milroy is going to take this, clear by 4 to 5 at the line. Milroy is the winner. Chateau Hero Boys in second place. Silent Valley flashes home third. Skelton Sovereign picks up for 4. Mudahadith finishing 5. Then comes State of Gold. And the last horse to pass the post was Daniel Princess. 3-1 the odds of reward for this number 1 Milroy. Trained by Paul Kellaway and ridden by Michael Wigham. Little bull of a horse who really ploughed his way down the home straight. Second horse home is number 3, Shadow Hero, the man of Stephen Drown. Pat Haslam trains and had to content himself with 2 second places today. Third was number 7, Silent Valley. Just a little bit of a madam, but probably catch a race when you catch her right. But it's Milroy who was right on target today. He's run 11 times, he's won twice, and Michael Wigham went out with plenty of goggles, pairs of goggles, and he's just down to 1 as he passes the line, and that one comes off his face.
Milroy returned Carpet, the 3-1 clear second favourite, back down from 7-2 as an uneasy favourite. Chateau Herold went out from odds on to return 5-4 against a one bookmaker was calling 11-8 as the flag went up. The third, Silent Valley, supported at 14 and 12-1, but you won't get paid with 7 runners each way. 8-1 Silent Valley, but Milroy, the class horse, wins at Carpet 3-1, and at half-time Newcastle United lead Aston Villa 2-1. A great result so far.
I'm afraid we've had to have a grovelling apology here from Jim McGrath to John Frankham, because Chateau Hero certainly didn't put his best foot forward there off the turn. But at the beginning of the week, the weather was so depressing, you would have thought there's long odds against any racing at all, and now we've just completed 2 of the busiest hours of live action we've ever staged on Channel 4. Let's have another look. How Norman Williamson took the Ladbroke at the end of the show, but here now, the other action.
And it's Suetonian that runs the rail, got a length of the good. Over in second place, Boffy, with in third in the yellow Aljaz. Then back into fourth, we've got Belinda Blue, but it's Suetonian now who's in a good lead. Here comes Aljaz, though, under Fergal Lynch in second place. It's Suetonian and John Bramhill clear by 2 to 3 lengths. Aljaz is trying to close as they race up towards the line. It's Suetonian who's going to take it up towards the line. Suetonian eases down. Suetonian wins it, Aljaz is second. And Stonecutter. Here comes Royal Citizen in second place, in the money back in third, 3 Socks in fourth. Down the straight they come with a furlong to go, and it's Stonecutter getting tired. Royal Citizen been off the track on the flat for some time. He's getting closer. Stonecutter still has it. Royal Citizen is closing with every stride. We've got about 100 yards to go. Stonecutter holding on to Royal Citizen, and at the line Stonecutter will take it. Makes all Stonecutter the winner. As they come to the top of the home run, and it's Elite Hope that has it inside the final quarter mile now. Black cap, Elite Hope. White cap is Little Ibnir. They're dueling from the back. Desert Invader is picking up, and picking up quite well too. They've got a furlong to go. And it's Elite Hope in the lead, to Little Ibnir back in third place, Desert Invader. Then comes Manabar. It's Elite Hope starting to tie up. Little Ibnir is coming back as they race up towards the line. Desert Invader putting in a light thrust. At the line, it's close. Little Ibnir takes it. Inside the final quarter mile, Punker with the advantage. But look at this Anonym next to the rails. Can he get through? Will he get a run? Wide on the course is Sabo. Down the straight they come. And he's found room, that John Bramhill on Anonym. He's come to steal the race. He's gone on as they come past the furlong pole by a length. To Sabo wide of Punker. They're dueling for places. Paternoster behind these as they race up towards the line. It's going to go to Anonym this. Up towards the line. Anonym wins it very easily. To Sabo in second, Punker third, Star Talent 4. Look at this Tallulah Bell train on the track, go for home now as they come to the top of the home run. It's Tallulah Bell, 2 in second place, Touch and Go, Prophet's Honour. Then behind that, Move the Clouds. What a moving madam as she is, a furlong to go. And it's Tallulah Bell gone clear of Touch and Go in second, and then Prophet's Honour. That's staying on very well indeed as they race up towards the line. Tallulah Bell's going to take it. Tallulah Bell clear by 5 to 6. Tallulah Bell is the winner.
So today's winners at Woolly Bags, just a quick recap. The 120, number 12, Suetonian, the 3-1 favourite. The 150 went to number 9, Stonecutter at 14-1. The 220 to number 5, Little Ibnir at 10-1. The 250 to number 8, Anonym at 11-2. The 320 to number 9, Tallulah Bell at 10-1. And the 350 to number 1, Milroy at 3-1. And if you entered our champion tipster competition, The maximum points you could have scored was 163, and we'd like telephone claims if you've got 100 points or more. The number to ring is 0990 100 366. That's 0990 100 366.
And a day of doubles at Lingfield because Joe Norton trained 2 down there, General Haven and Hever Golf Lover. She's off to the Swedish 1,000 guineas. Slightly warmer where Joe is. He's over in Mauritius. Sunning himself, Chris Rutter knocked in a double courtesy of Arcachora and also Classy Chief. And Classy Chief, that was the first winner for John White for 221 days. And Simon Dow, who won with Mystery down at Lingfield, well, he's off to Cannes-sur-Mer this evening with 4 runners. Usually does well down there, one to keep an eye on.
And did you keep an eye on the picture puzzle? Another Mensa buster. It was, yes, you got it, Move the Clouds. And the winners were £100 each. Don Rice from London, Eileen Piper from Stoke-on-Trent, and James Edward Ford from Warrington. Well done all you 3. And racing on Channel 4 to come next Saturday at Kempton. The Victor Chandler Chase has been moved on. The Sun King of the Punters, Lanzarote Hurdle, big sponsorship there. Then on to Cheltenham and Donny, the Pillar Property Investment Chase and the Pertemps Great Yorkshire. And on through into February, we have Sandown, then Uttoxeter, Newcastle and Warwick, Wincanton and Huntington, and Kempton on the 22nd. Don't forget the morning line every Saturday. Dodgy tips from a whole lot of dodgy people. Doesn't laugh. Mustn't too live, but we're here at Wolverhampton. The weather's supposed to be getting warmer, but you could have some fairly big odds with me at the moment. But we've had a wonderful afternoon, really good live action from here and, of course, across the water. And we leave you with Norman Williamson and Master Tribe, at last bringing Ladbroke back to England.
This year's Channel 4 Racing Diary is out in the shops now, and it's priced at £5.25.
Can the archaeologist